Okay, it is officially 5:30, so I'm going to call this special meeting of the Marion County Board of Education to order. Item number 2 is our Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence, so would everyone please stand?
Good evening, Superintendent Brady and the Board of Education members and guests. My name is Kaylee Jo Hicks. Welcome to West Marion Elementary School, home of the Can-Do attitude. We will now begin the pledge. Please stand, hand on your heart, salute pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will have a moment of silence.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3, communications. 3A is public comment. Do we have anyone here? Perfect. Then moving on to item 3B, our superintendent report with Mr. Brady.
All right. I can see we're good. So quite a few good things to share today. Lebanon Elementary School teacher Joanna Wright was recently named the Marion County Chamber of Commerce Outstanding Educator of the Year. So you can see lots of smiles between she and Mr. Mattingly there. She's so precious. I heard absolutely she is precious. The West Marion RCX robotics team placed first in the county competition and will advance to the state competition on April 23rd. Again, some nice pictures there as well. 10 members of the West Marion Chorus traveled to Parkway Baptist to participate in the 4th District Chorus. See Mr. Durham and his chorus there. The Marion County High School mock trial team won the 2025 state championship. You all, this is a big deal. It really is. It's something to be extremely proud of. They will actually be at the board meeting in April to be recognized. Marion County High School senior Will Blakely was recently named a National Merit Scholar finalist. So congratulations to him. This is a big deal as well.
That's the top 7% of students.
It is,
nationally.
yeah. Marion County High School students participated in the 2025 Caveland Regional Art Competition and will have their artwork on display at the South Central Cultural Center in Glasgow. And then artwork by 8 students will move on to the state competition in Lexington later this year. We have a fantastic art classes at our high school, and they do an awesome job. So congratulations to them. Lebanon Middle School narrowly defeated Marion County Middle in the Battle of the Books competition during Read Across America Week. Marion County Middle School RCX robotics team will also be competing at the state competition. Glasscock Elementary was recently recognized as a distinguished school at the National ESEA Conference in Austin, Texas. Glasscock was one of 2 schools in Kentucky to be recognized. Members of our Marion County Public Schools Aspiring Leader Academy met on February 25th. Participants continued their John Maxwell book study, and then they heard from David Young, who's the CKEC, Central Kentucky Education Cooperative, CEO, on the essentials of effective leadership. And they also, that afternoon, got to shadow principals. So I think they would all say it was a great experience for them. Jessica Bevan, Corey Osborne, David Gibson, and Dana Thomas recently attended the Mid-School Math Conference, that's a mouthful, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, to learn more about building thinking classrooms, which is an instructional strategy to support the math curriculum. Our preschool numbers, we finally maxed out. It's almost over for the year, but we are now up to 100, which is our capacity. So Lebanon Elementary 20, Glasscock 20, Calvary 20, West Marion 40 for a total of 100, and 638 Dolly Park Imagination Library, and 1,415 graduated. We are going to have our preschool screening for the next school year on March 21st, April 18th, and April 25th.
Questions? right, moving on to our lovely host school here. We have a West Marion student presentation, so take it away, guys.
For our presentation, we have a presentation about our Page Ambassador program led by our Page Ambassadors here. They're going to speak to that, and also we have some beta recognition. And we're going to have a couple students perform a song that they'll perform in Orlando at the National Convention. So Avery, take it away.
Good evening and welcome board members and guests to West Marion Elementary. My name is Avery Biven and I am a member of the WMES Page Ambassadors. We began in the fall of 2021 as a group of students who promote WMES, participate in activities that improve the school, and build our leadership.
Hello, my name is Max Thomas. We would like to thank Mr. Jason Simpson. He helped in the formation of this group by having Marion County High School ambassadors come to WMES and interview our candidates. This is a yearly tradition where our students fill out an application and are interviewed by high school ambassadors.
Hello, my name is Bentley Nally. We are involved in a variety of activities throughout this year that include morning announcements daily with Mr. Mattingly, weekly leadership lunch led by Ms. Van Wyne. This occurs every Thursday through our normal lunch period. A big thank you to Ms. Van Wyne for meeting with us weekly to talk about upcoming events and ways to improve our leadership skills. We provide a monthly good news report for monthly SBDM meetings. We provide goodie bags to the WMES staff at Christmas and during Staff Appreciation Week. We conducted a fundraiser that benefited Feeding America with 750 meals while also raising over $200 for West Marion. We read books to our preschool and kindergarten students. We made and presented an appreciation poster for the cafeteria staff as part of a lunch appreciation week. We are helping second grade teacher Ms. King collect items for goodie bags that will go to patients at Norton's Children's Hospital. We will participate in the Young Leaders Conference taking place this Saturday. We read books to students in kindergarten throughout second grade.
Hello. On behalf of WMES, we would also thank the board for our recent improvements in the school, including new floors in the front office, a new preschool fence, and a cage around our dumpster.
We're also working on becoming a certified kindness school by documenting the different kind acts we've done throughout this school year and sending that off to the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. We hope you enjoy your time here at West Marion, home of the can-do attitude.
Next, we'll have our beta sponsors, Ms. Montgomery and Mr. Smith, present our beta students who will travel to National Convention in Orlando.
We'd like to recognize Nicole Hawkins and Elijah Brown. Elijah sang the national anthem at Beta Convention, and they both competed in vocal duos, and both of them are being invited back to nationals for premier performers.
And Caitlin Browning won second place, right? Second place in cake decorating. It was a brand new category, and she did an excellent job. We have pictures online if anybody wants to see what she did. She did so talented. She's going to be a great cake decorator one day, I'm sure, and sell her cakes.
Should have had some sampling here.
We should have.
Well, she did it on like foam, and so it would have just been icing.
I'm sure if you ask her, she'll make you one, though, Mr. Right.
And Caitlin is on the end. Do you want to stand, Caitlin? Good job. Nicole Hawkins. Let's go ahead and
Stand up
so
so they
people
can
can
see
see
you.
you are. And Elijah Brown.
And also Mr. Durham's also going to speak to Elijah and Nicole of recent achievements they've had with the course program.
Elijah and Nicole were selected to be a part of the KMEA All-State Choir this year. And so that was out of over 600 students. We had 4 that we auditioned here, and 2 of them made it, so we were very proud of them. And then they also, like you mentioned earlier, they sang in the 4th District Choir. That was last week, wasn't it? Whew, seems like it was forever ago. And they were 2 of the 10. I think we have 2 more here that were part of that group, so we have 4 of those kids here. And Nicole also tried out for a solo, and or it ended up being a duo, but she and another young lady got to sing together, so that was quite of an honor. So we're actually going to have them sing their piece that they did for beta competition for you all. So come on up here.
Play chorus.
Every time I try to make it on my own, every time I try to stand and start to fall, and all those lonely roads that I've traveled on, if there was Jesus, life all but came crashing to the ground. When the friends I have are nowhere to be found, and I couldn't see it then, but I can see it now. If there was Jesus, in the waiting, in the searching, in the healing, in the hurting, like a blessing buried in the broken pieces. Every minute, every moment, where I've been, where I'm going, even when I didn't know it, I couldn't see it. And there was Jesus on the mountains, in the valleys. If there was Jesus in the shadows of the alleys, there was Jesus in the fire of the Lord.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, that was awesome.
I have a comment for you. I attended that beta. I had the privilege of helping, and I enjoyed every moment of it. Y'all were fantastic. And just for your good job, all of y'all can have piece of candy.
Max, you gotta get in there a little tougher next time.
Maybe Ethan.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you all so much, and thank you for being wonderful hosts here at West Marion. We're so happy to be here. So moving on to item 3D is our attendance and enrollment report.
All right, well, Ms. Akers was unable to be here tonight, so I'll try to do it justice. So we'll start out with Calvary Elementary School with a total of preschool at 242, Glasscock Elementary 428, Lebanon Elementary 310, West Marion 394, Lebanon Middle 330, Marion County Middle 277, Marion County High School 876, and 183 at the UC Spalding Academy for a total of 3,040. So we're doing something a little bit different this month, comparing month over month enrollment changes. So actually not a great fluctuation. The difference that you're going to notice here is primarily due to the 15 graduates that we had for the UC Spalding Academy in December. So you're going to notice the fluctuation there a bit, but most of that is due to UC Spalding. So you can see we're continuing our 2024-25 attendance as far as monthly goes. We're still trending upward. We did have a couple of January and February, a couple of months that were rough with attendance with illness, but hopefully, we're out of that now. So year to date, we're at 93.93, and that is up about 0.4% over last year, which is a great thing. So again, all in green. Again, continuing on our daily attendance, you can see a lot of green on that screen, which is something we're pretty proud of. So our calendar, starting to get a few questions about calendar. We're hopefully getting soon to the point where we're likely, I shouldn't say this out loud, but hopefully getting to a point where we're starting to get out of the woods. Won't say completely, but we have completed 131 instructional days with 42 remaining. We do have 6 makeup days and 9 NTI days. Hopefully this time next month for the April board meeting, we'll be able to have a calendar to present to the board as far as when the last day of school and graduation may be. So again, hopefully that will be ready to go in April. So our current homeschool students, the number is 138. Again, this is something that I think people maybe don't understand, but this is a great number for a district our size. And I've met with other superintendents and talked to other district leaders, and percentage-wise, Marion County, this is something to celebrate. The fact that so few of our families choose homeschool is something I'm certainly proud of, and something I wanted to share. So currently 138, that number is down. Probably, I don't have the exact number, but probably down 40 plus over the last year or two. So again, something we're pretty proud of there. And you can see our attendance challenge winners there. Congratulations to them.
Awesome. Any questions? All right, moving on to the finance report. Scott.
So, sorry. Took a look, month of February, again, pretty much the same as the trends have stayed the same. One big one I'll point out to you, a couple on the revenue side, is we did receive our annual distilled spirits tax, and that is actually up about $700,000 this year compared to last year. So that's a big reason why you see the property tax overall up. And then, of course, SEEK is still trending. We're at $437,000 for 6% increase. So we've been hovering at 5 or 6% increase compared to this time last year. So look at the receipts total, 19.9 versus 19.1 for the month compared to last year. And then on the expenses, still the same. Again, the big one, we'll point out that $225,000 to the good. That's got a lot to do with the ESSER's taking care of some instructional coaches' salaries. So our expenses are down. We were at 12.9 versus 13.6 last year. For overall, we're up about $1.4 million. I got a trend data sheet for you.
What's those bigger ticket items? Start approaching the end of the fiscal year.
Thank you. So Scott, even with the items, I guess, that ESSERS is covering, we're still to the good by
We
quite a bit.
are good. And of course, those will come back to the general fund next
Sure.
year, so we got to keep those in mind.
Yeah.
They're kind of those artificials for this year.
So the total ESSER on the instructional coach is just shy of 400,000. That's
Okay.
essentially what that covered.
Okay. So still about $1 million to the good?
We are.
Perfect.
How does that go? Does that go away next year?
It's gone, yeah.
It's gone this year now, actually in September 30th of 2024. So it did get part of this fiscal year.
But we use most of it.
We
used
used all of it.
Oh, that's
We used
even
it all,
better.
I
Every
promise.
cent of it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to item 4. I need a motion on item 4A, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of 2025-26 preschool start and end date.
I'll second.
Any questions here?
What are those exact dates?
August 26th and May 14th. And that's pretty typical, correct? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5A, please.
I make a motion to consider approval of the 2025 Kentucky Interlocal School Transportation Association, KISTA, resolution.
I will second.
Any questions here?
Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, so what this is the resolution that we enter to sell our buses, and it's something that if you can reject if we get the bids that you all are not comfortable with. So it's really at no fault to the district as far as participation.
And this is something that we do every year?
We do every year, yeah.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5B, please.
I'll move to consider approval to declare bus number 82 and number 112 surplus property.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5C, please.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of 2025-26 Hordes Landscape Service Agreement.
I'll second.
Any significant changes here with our previous agreement? Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5D, please.
I'll move to consider approval of the agreement with Energy Tax Savers for the Inflation Reduction Act application for the new Calvary Elementary School, BG number 22-052.
Second.
Oh, yeah. So a couple of years ago, the tax code changed and schools were never able to take part in the energy savings that like you could as like for your house. So they did change that, and now we have the capability, given the fact that Calvary Elementary is such an energy efficient school with the geothermal and being all electric as well. So giving all of those things, we can actually apply for a tax credit or rebate that would be a direct reimbursement back to the general fund. So in doing that, of course, as you can imagine, it's a lot of paperwork. So we would recommend that we go with Energy Tax Savers to help us complete all the necessary paperwork to get the rebate back, which we expect to be around $1 million, maybe a little bit over.
Is that the only school in the future that could apply for this, or is this?
Scott,
It's a new build, it's construction, and then what happens is the longer you go, it's going down.
Down.
So it's a pool of money, so we'll see when we get to the next one, but right now it's the only one that's eligible that we have.
Right, okay. Because with the upgrades here as well, with the geothermal.
Oh, yeah, this is for just new builds. I understand your question now, but I thought you were maybe like Lebanon Elementary, for example, if we had a new build.
Well, no, just.
It's the only one that meets the requirements.
Okay.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5E.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of pay application number 23 to Griggs Enterprises in the amount of $136,330 for work performed on the new Calvary Elementary School, BG 22-052.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5F.
Move to consider approval of pay app number 6 to CMTA Energy Solutions in the amount of $47,152.58 for work performed and $380,818.26 for materials on the Marion County Middle HVAC Placement Project BG number 24-415.
I'll second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5G.
Make a motion to approve, consider approval of pay app number 9 to Griggs Enterprises in the amount of $20,144 for work performed on Glasscock Elementary Masonry and Window Placement Project BG number 24-122.
Second.
Any questions here?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to item 5H is discussion of water penetration to the exterior of Marion County Middle School.
Yeah, so a couple of months ago, after when the hurricane went through, we started to notice some pretty significant water penetration issues at Marion Middle. So a portion of that building along the uphold portion of the building is partially underground. And it's allowing water to actually seep through the walls of that building and come in, and it's essentially pulling in between the VCT tile on the floor So when you walk across it, it's actually allowing water to come up under your feet. It's an exterior issue. We assume at this point that, that any type of barrier on the outside of the building is either gone or was never there in the first place. But we've just recently noticed the issues. And then there is quite a bit of stucco on that building in between the windows, and that is starting to fail as well. So this emergency order would allow us to go ahead and get some of that work done this summer, where we could maybe not interrupt school. It would be done sort of a classroom at a time. But my bigger concern about getting it done over the summer, where it would not involve, it would be away from when students would be there, is because they're going to actually have to come in behind the building, pull all the dirt away from the building, waterproof the exterior, and then put it all back. The complicated part of that is that's where all of our geothermal piping goes. So it's something that's got to be done with precision, and again, something that is just going to be a little bit tricky. Again, it's something that needs to be done just to prevent water from coming in the building.
Is there any type of insurance that helps cover that?
Yeah, no, it's just age of the building.
Okay.
It just something that's come up, kind of like Glasscock.
And then the next, so we've got a motion or an item for consideration up next to declare an emergency to address the water penetration. And I think my question kind of around this discussion is that typically what we would do would be to create or issue a BG1 for this type of project, correct?
It is, but we've talked to KDE, and they're gonna let us piggyback off of the contract with Glasscock, so since it's very similar, and that way we can go on, Mr. Brady said, and we can get this thing going as soon as school gets out, to avoid these.
So KDE said likely the vendors that, for example, the one masonry, that's who did Glasscock, that's who did the high school work, that's who's done Calvary. Like, there's just not a lot of people out there to bid this type of work. So KDE's even if you did a BG1 and bid it out, you're probably going to get the same people to do the work in general, is why they recommend to do it this way. I will point out one thing I just thought of, because we did just spend a lot of money to replace the windows in that building. So this is not something to undo the work that we've already done. The windows will actually be removed in the portion that will be remediated, but it's something that they can put them right back. It's not anything that's going to affect any work that we've already done. Joey had asked me that question, which was a good one, I thought. So,
Do we have an idea of the amount?
yes, so we're going to talk about that at the budget work session, but it's
Okay.
309,000, I think, 700,
Okay.
3097, I think is what it was,
Well, just gives us an idea of the scope of it.
Yeah.
And it sounds good.
And it would remove the stucco and go back with brick. So this would be a permanent solution, whereas stucco fails after a certain number of years.
So next steps for us would be to, of course, consider approval on item 5I, and then we would have some action items on our work session agenda about this project, or no?
We could, or it could wait until April,
Either's
correct,
fine.
Scott?
Okay.
So it would be an amending of the BG1 at Glasscock is what the next step would be.
Okay, so as long as we're good on time, and then let's let it wait until April.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need a motion?
Not just yet. Any questions on that discussion or anything else you all would like to know? And again, my question came up just as it's a strange way to do it, kind of adjusting a BG1 for a completely different building. So I wanted to make sure that, we did our due diligence and made sure that there weren't any red flags being raised by kind of adding to the project that wasn't really a part of Glasscock's project. So as long as it will allow us to move very expeditiously with our vendors and not get us into hot water, then I'm
So
all.
I called the two people I need to check with, the auditor and KDE, and they both
Perfect.
they said, you're right.
And they have been a little bit easier to do some workarounds, but similar that we've had before. We
Correct.
had,
So it'll be a
wasn't it
change
one
order
that we had
added to
before?
the scope of work for Glasscock, so
Yeah.
we'll do it.
All right, so if we are all good on that discussion, then moving on to item 5I, I need a motion, please.
Make a motion to consider approval to declare an emergency to address water penetration to the exterior of Marion County Middle.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5J.
I will make a motion to consider acceptance of fuel bids.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5K.
Motion to consider approval to award the fuel bid.
Second.
To,
White Oil.
Oh, yeah, well, it's here, to White Oil. I do have a question about that. I'm sure everybody probably knows this, but the fractions they give, is that what they add to the current price?
That's correct.
To deliver it?
Yes, sir.
So it's current price plus whatever those fractions are, okay.
That did increase slightly from our current rate.
other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5L. I'll make a motion to consider acceptance of the Hay contract bids.
Second.
Any questions?
No, I will abstain from this vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5M.
I'll make a motion to consider acceptance of Hay contract bids for Lebanon Middle to Steve Downs in the amount of $300, to Marion Middle to Steve Downs in the amount of $1,800, for Glasscock to Steve Downs in the amount of $300, and for West Marion to Michael Newton for the price of $935.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, I need a motion on item 5N, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of Toshiba copier lease.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5O is acknowledgement of field trips, so acknowledged, and I need a motion on item 6.
I'll make a motion to consider all student learning and support consent items A through K.
I'll second.
I want to thank Heartland Coalition for their donation, $2,000 to GES and LES Frisky.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Item 7 is acknowledgement of personnel actions, so acknowledged. And sir, at the end, as is customary, I need a motion on item 8.
Madam Chair, I'll be happy to move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. Yeah, this is a good thing if you had
Would you
told
like
me
to
I would
be
say
anybody?
that.